Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Well, here we go.
I finished my notebook.
You finished a comedy book? That's a great feeling.
It is a pretty great feeling. Now I just have to transcribe sort of a good set list, a couple of good set lists into the new notebook, and then my life will be complete.
What's that rip? Is that for gum?
No, it is set list.
Part of the page is ripped.
Yeah, I tend to rip off the last couple of pages. I'll use parts of it to write set lists.
Oh, I do that when I'm trying
pocket.
to get rid of gum before a show.
Oh,
I'll be
interesting.
like, oh, fuck, I got gum in my mouth.
I don't have gum. So,
and do you have a new moleskin ready to go?
No, I got the one from Cambodia with the elephant on it.
Oh, yeah.
I got one for each of yous.
I'm using mine to track digitizing my sets.
Oh, cool.
On all that stuff.
That's great. There's so many uses for a notebook, you guys. Notebooks have a lot of uses.
Well, now I'm going into the DVDs. Before I spent, a lot of time on the VHS tapes. Now I'm doing DVDs. I just want to get it all on Dropbox. I just want it out of media. I want it on a cloud someplace and my hard drive, and then I can start playing around with things.
We're all supposed to be cutting 15 second to 1 minute clips of our stand-up and posting them on Instagram. I don't know if you're familiar with what we're all supposed to be doing.
I'd like to be able to do that. I'd like to, like Ted Alexander, I think, is doing Instagram really well, but I think he's taking clips.
Chad Daniels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out. I think he's taking clips from his special. But I think if you're already done a special, start clipping it out for sure.
Yeah.
But
I have I have a couple of. I don't know how to use Adobe Premiere. I'm going to. Any minute now, I'm going to learn how to use Adobe Premiere. But because Carmen Morales was telling me she just does it in iMovie.
Right.
But I don't know how to use that either. I don't have a Mac, so it seems unlikely that I'm going to learn.
Yes, I use iMovie, but I don't do that much. I don't do much clipping a stand up. Sometimes I do crowd work stuff. I'll put up on YouTube. But
you will. I've seen that. Those are great.
But I haven't. Instagram's like, oh, another fucking thing to learn. Like I don't natively enjoy photographs. I like Twitter. Like I love Twitter. I love writing. I love jokes. I love the short. Like it's so fucking perfect. And I don't have the joy necessary to really enjoy Instagram the way people do.
What about TikTok? No, I can't. I'm not 11. Can't join TikTok.
Yeah, you can. You know who's got a good TikTok is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's like 60 at least.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's got to be 70.
Maybe, but you can find ones that you like and work with your lifestyle. I think
I know, but I like Snapchat. I like
you do.
Yeah, I like Snapchat, and I'm liking Instagram, and I actually just changed my Instagram to hook up with my fan page on Facebook. So it's not, my Instagram doesn't automatically post to my personal page.
Oh, okay.
Now it'll post to my fan page, which makes more sense.
Okay.
Because Instagram is less political. It's just usually hotel art.
Yeah.
It's just, and stuff like that. Just me screwing around in the city that I'm in. This one comes out right before I go to Tacoma and Santa Cruz.
This one comes out right after I returned from Lake Tahoe.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm leaving for Europe.
That's right. You will go to Europe. Yeah, this is the second one we're doing tonight. I forgot to mention I have sets every night this week that nobody can see because they're over. But, like on Tuesday, I have 2 sets at the Improv. The 8 o'clock show and the 10 o'clock show.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice. And then Wednesday...
The main room, both of them?
Main room. And then it's probably the teenagers.
Oh!
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what?
July.
I think they'll like you.
They did a couple... I
think they will. Yeah.
I usually do it every year. And I usually don't pull any punches. They've been brought to a comedy club. They clearly are old souls.
Well, no.
So,
and they hate any reference to, you'll get this when you're older. They hate anything like that.
Oh, God.
And I saw a comic doing that. I'm like, dude, no. No, no, no.
Right. You're just like, don't you remember being a child and wanting
Yes.
to be treated like a person?
And not wanting to hear old people talk about old people things. I swear, I went swimming today. Like, it's my first time back in the pool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm at the pool and I see this guy. This guy coaches his son. He seems like a nice guy. Usually those people, I'm like a little worried when you're coaching your own kid. But he seems like a nice guy.
Are you still coaching your son?
No.
No, he gave it up. Okay.
No, I just learned, you know what? He's going to lead a different life than me. He does not have to follow all of my interests.
Right.
And he plays water polo. He's in a water sport. He's great at it. So, hey, it's okay. So I'm saying hi to this guy, and I said, I haven't been in the water in like a month. I had an aneurysm, and he's like, oh my God, where? And his family has a history of them. And then I realized I'm that old swimmer talking about aches and pains. And I remember like being 22 on a master's team, and I just listened to the older swimmers talk about what hurts, and I was like, ugh, fucking take it to the slow
this guy
lane.
Younger? Was he much younger?
He's like my age.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it was just
that's age appropriate.
I
then.
know, but you just
don't wanna- I don't
my
ever
point
wanna-
is, we become what we despise.
And I don't want to be people who talk about our aches and pains.
Right. Yes. Right. I mean, I do have an aneurysm chunk I'm working on, but I mean, it's funny. It's got jokes in it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Right. Well, and that's what it's for.
Yes.
That's what, in stand-up comedy, all of your aches and pains better be funny. And what I don't need to know is how things are just, aging hurts. So I don't necessarily need to hear.
I know. And when you're young and nothing hurts,
Yeah.
it's just like, fuck you and you're aging.
Well, and the
your
weird thing
hurts.
is like if something hurts when you're 25 or 30,
Yeah.
it's a real story. You hurt yourself.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
Yeah.
This thing, I'm like, I woke up, my shoulder bugs me. What? That's not it's not even conversation. It's much less some sort of.
Have I said this before? What's really aging is when you make noises, when you get up, when you move, when you breathe, when people like congratulate themselves for breathing. A lot of that. Like my mom, she breathes. She breathes in through her teeth, and I didn't realize this for the longest time, but it always feels like we're in a plane that's about to crash. That's how she breathes in.
Right.
It causes constant anxiety whenever she's around. Right. She makes that noise like when you're driving and you're not braking enough for the person or something.
Oh, so she's panicking when there's some.
But we're just standing. She's just standing in the kitchen.
Okay, so it's not in the car. It's just wandering around the house.
Yes.
Boo.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Watch your breathing.
Right.
It's very aging.
Right. Don't let anyone hear you. Don't let anyone. We don't want to. I don't want to bitch. If I'm bitching at you about my aches and pains, you better be some sort of medical professional.
Right.
That's it. That's who gets to hear that. Or it's funny.
Or a fellow old person.
Oh, yeah. You can also complain laterally.
Guys need to go away from young people so they can't hear you.
They don't want to hear you.
No.
Yeah. I agree. I'm with you entirely.
And then a friend of mine goes, I can't believe you had a brain aneurysm. And I'm like, hold the fuck on. I did not have a brain aneurysm. That's a completely separate and much worse problem.
Right.
And that could affect me getting work. I did not have a brain aneurysm. Okay? I had an abdominal aneurysm. Okay?
That's it.
It's done. It's fine. I'm
fixed.
Good. I'm on Tylenol now. I can fly. It's all fine.
You can swim.
I
That's
can
the good
swim.
news. You can swim. How was your swim?
Well, it's a little slower.
Sure.
It's
10 days later.
Yes, I did.
It's going to take a second.
I did 2,800, and I usually do 3,300 when I'm swimming yards.
Yep, sure.
It took a while, but it felt good to be back in the water.
I bet.
I hadn't moved,
I'm so looking forward to. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 sets this week.
Oh, nice.
Which is a lot because I haven't been home this much.
Yeah.
So I'm all over LA getting to do stand up. A lot of UCB, a lot of improv, and then some UCB Rip Bodice. I'm doing that one.
Oh, fun!
I'm doing the Dog Cafe, and then I'm doing 2 benefits on
Where's
Saturday
the Dog
night.
Cafe?
I don't know, but Rich, remember Richie from Flappers?
Yeah.
He's booking it.
Oh,
So you get to pet a dog.
Oh, nice.
You get to pet a dog and then do stand-up comedy.
I like that.
Yeah, I once did some recovery house in Malibu. Mm-hmm. That they paid me $75 to drive out to Malibu to do 40 minutes.
Oh.
It was a long time. It was in a living room with a bunch of people that were being forced to be sober. There was a giant dog that came and introduced itself to me while I was on the stage, which was right in front of the fireplace. And the guy who introduced me was talking about how this recovery house costs $300,000 for the month.
A month? Each person is paying $300,000 a month?
And I'm getting $75 to do 40 minutes.
Wow.
They've asked me to do it since, and I've had to turn them down.
Wow.
Just because my rage won't I can't handle it.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to need at least $3,000.
I just can't fathom. That's so much money. And
So
what are
much
you
money.
getting for $300,000? You're getting the same therapy you're
tacos.
getting.
It was that's like she kept saying, and free dinner. We're having it's taco night. Nope. No, it isn't. It is. It isn't. I like tacos. I'm not dissing a taco. But you're dumb.
There's no insurance that would cover that. This is just wealthy people paying for.
Yeah, because you get to
treatment.
see the ocean.
Fuck! Wow.
They all looked like baby rich children.
Right.
Like it was essentially Simba. Simba, who's having a temper tantrum and has run off into the wild.
Is that
And then that's a Lion King
That's a Lion
reference.
reference.
Yeah, I'll be
You know
over
what?
here.
Okay, I drove by the Lion. I drove by some billboards, not billboards, but just like facades, I guess, that have the Lion King posters on them.
Ads, yeah.
in L.A., right? And each character has its own had its own poster, and I think there were 12 posters of characters, and the only female was Beyonce.
Oh,
It
is
seems
she
like
the only lioness?
I don't know. Everyone
Let's-
else was a male character.
Let's speak about lions briefly. The fact that that lions just sit around and the lionesses do all the work. They do all the hunting and they do all the child rearing.
Wow.
With cubs. So there's injustice in the lion world and also in the movie The Lion King.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just Beyonce.
yeah. It's like what if you had to mandate that parts be equal? What if it had to be, if you're doing an animation, it has to be half female voices?
I don't know.
What if that was an EEOC?
Here's the mandate I would like. Mm-hmm. One, what Ann Arbor does, what Roger Feeney does in Ann Arbor, which is one female woman headliner a month.
That's great.
It's not even prohibitive, right?
Yeah.
It's not even half.
Yeah.
It's just one. Mm-hmm. But then you mix it up. That's why I loved this. I mean, I don't mean to harp on this. I know we were talking about it last episode, but Phase 4 of the Marvel Universe, super diverse.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Doctor Thor. It's going to be Jane Foster as Thor.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I read that Thor arc, Mighty Thor, and it was fascinating. Parts of it
So
were
wait,
good.
Thor, the character, does the male Thor die? He dies in the Avengers, and so
he
there's
loses
a new
his
Thor.
hammer, and Jane Foster picks it up.
Oh, so whoever picks up the hammer is Thor?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because Thor is essentially, his name is Odin's son.
Right.
He is Thor, the god of thunder. And people keep calling him Thor, and he's like, I'm not Thor, I'm Odin's son. And remember, I don't know that you will, but at the end of
I have not seen Endgame yet.
Endgame,
I haven't been on a plane recently.
It's not on planes yet, but you know what is? Captain Marvel.
Okay.
I've watched it 6 times in the last 2 weeks. It's been pretty great.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, I've enjoyed it. So, but there's that. There's also the new Mandarin, which is the first. Did you see that? The Asian guy? Shang-Chi. He's going to be
I
Shang-Chi.
saw Jenny Yang tweeting
about how great.
Ecstatically with every possible emoji she could
The
get her
guy
hands
who's
on.
playing Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
literally, he has tweets from 2014 where he's not wearing a shirt and he's like, Marvel, anytime now, just wait. He's almost naked. He's
Oh,
like,
really?
I'm waiting for Marvel to build me a superhero suit.
All right.
Shang-Chi. And he just doesn't wear a shirt because he's a ninja. And
Kumail Nanjiani is
going to be in
something.
the Eternals.
Oh.
And along with Angelina Jolie.
That's
and,
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a comic.
Right.
Like a fucking
He's-
stand-up.
from Chicago, no less. Just a Chicago
amazing.
comic who's now going to be in a movie, a Marvel movie, as an Eternal. And let me tell you something about the Eternals that people don't know. They have superpowers, but they aren't necessarily superheroes. But they are immortal, which
Okay.
is weird. And because it's there's so many. There's
It's
going to be a
not
new
something I
Blade.
want to be immortal.
Well, no, you would be driven mad. Yeah.
Would I? I'll think about
what
this
would-
and get
yeah.
back to us.
Please
on
get
the
back
next
to us. Let's
podcast.
let's find out. What would you use immortality for?
Like, how long can I be
Would you
this
just-
angry about my career?
And we're done.
Forever?
Let's just call it, because that I don't know how you're going to top that. The idea of you being immortal. At some point, would you be willing
Eternally
to just do?
bitter.
Would you be willing to just do one set a night if you had all of eternity?
That's kind of what I do now.
No, you do 4 sets a night
Oh,
sometimes.
in New York, yeah, but
6 sets a night.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Yes. So, but would you be willing if you had all the time in the world and you were forever young? What age would you be if you could be forever young? What the heck? Let's play that game.
Oh yeah, I would say I would do.
We have time.
42.
You'd pick 42 because you liked it.
Yeah. I just was looking at a DVD from 2009. I guess that's 10 years ago. It was like 43, 44. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that face. That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, 34. I was looking at a DVD from 1999. 34. Why didn't I know that I looked good?
Because we never
Jackie,
do.
what the fuck?
We never do. You look back. You look back at a picture of yourself when you're like 17 or 19. You're like, oh, I could have been working that.
Yes.
And sadly, nobody knew.
At that
'cause you
time-
never know.
At 34, I was
You're
on
just self-conscious.
right. I was on the road all the time. I was working out. I did 2 workouts a day. I would swim, and then I would do a run in the afternoon, or vice versa. But I had nothing to do all day. You know,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could have been writing. I
Or
could have been
looking at
doing
scrambled porn. I
Yeah.
mean, there's only so much.
the Judd Apatow of just writing, right? but I was like, I'm just going to work out really hard and then do my set.
Yeah, that's it. That's good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we at?
Ooh, you asked way
Let's-
too early.
That feels early,
hurts.
but let's do a Max Fun break.
Hi, I'm Dave,
Hi, I'm Graham.
and we're 2 house DJs who have been trapped inside our drum machine.
We love it here, and we'd love if you stopped by and visited us every week on Stop Podcasting Yourself.
here on MaximumFun.org.
We're just a couple of doofuses from Canada.
And listen to our show or perish. Stop podcasting yourself.
On MaximumFun.org.
And we're back.
Okay, so here's what I started this on a Delta flight like 2 months ago. I started
Okay.
watching The Sopranos.
Oh, wow.
Right, the entire Sopranos is on Delta, and I was like, I'll start this, and then I'm taking Delta to London.
Oh,
right?
there you go.
Maybe I'll finish it on that flight. I'll just
Yeah.
dip in and dip out. And then when I was on, all of a sudden I couldn't move because of this aneurysm. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
God.
I've got nothing else to do. I'm going deep in, and
Right.
it was an incredibly depressing time. I
Watching.
just finished it, and it just I didn't feel good when I finished it, and these people are all awful. Tony is just a fucking psycho. Carmela's awful. Aunt AJ is a piece of shit. Like everyone's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
never
they
watched
never
it.
got better.
No.
They never learned anything.
Nope.
And I think part of it
There's
is
so many TV shows that are exactly that.
right. I would
fucking hate
never
those shows.
recommend binge watching an anti-hero show. Just watch it 1 hour a week and just take your time.
Yeah, what are you going to watch? Mad Men all in a row? Good
Mad Men
times.
or Breaking Bad. I mean,
Nope.
that ends badly.
I watched the first season. Wait, I might have watched the first
Breaking
two.
Bad, he starts okay, and then he descends into some really horrible places. And Soprano starts awful, stays awful,
Yeah.
and And what they brought up, like in the last season or two, was that psychopaths go to therapy to learn how to trick people better.
How to pretend.
Yeah, they actually they get better at being psychopaths in therapy.
Right.
And so Melfi realizes this, that this probably happened and that she's been tricked this entire time.
Yeah.
And then they stop and he continues to be a murdering sociopath.
I just found out that my dad met my stepmother when she was going out with Frank Balistreri's brother in Milwaukee. And the Balistreri's were essentially the brother or son, whatever, some relative. Balistreri was the Vegas guy that ran Milwaukee. And my dad would hang out with these dirtbags. And I guess Nancy was hanging out with these dirtbags too.
Wow.
And that's how she met my dad. And I was like, ew. So, and I mean,
so she was like Jackie Aprile or something?
Probably. She was very,
I mean,
very
Rosalie, yeah.
It's, I've only seen probably a dozen episodes of The Sopranos total.
Yeah.
If not 6.
It's great. It's great acting.
I'm sure it's amazing acting, amazing writing. But I can't. There's so much good television right now that is so depressing that I don't want any part of it.
I know.
You know?
When Fleabag is so awesome and uplifting. But here's the thing.
I saw Barry. I saw the first season of Barry.
Oh, Barry's tough.
That was amazingly well done.
It's great.
Yes.
He's great, and he's very disturbing. It's actually made me feel uncomfortable around it. Like the rage he gets to at some points when he's hunting people is not what I want in Bill Hader. Because when you see him on Conan or whatever, he's like super giggly and nice, and it's that's unnerving.
It's
good.
Acting.
Yeah, it's great.
These actors. You ever hang around with these actors and you think, are you an empty vessel that someone poured a script into and you turned into a monster? Kind of. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a learned skill, obviously.
I wonder. James Gandolfini had a heart attack a couple years ago. I wonder if a character can damage your health.
I think it can. I think playing because I know that I don't know where I read this, but I heard that playing a hero will actually make you be a better person in real life.
Oh.
So maybe playing a dirtbag will make you kind of more. I mean,
you just have to go to some ugly places, and
right.
And Heath Ledger in Joker too, right?
Right, and I think that it depends how healthy you are and how much you can separate that reality from truth.
Yeah.
But when you look at typecasting itself, you're like, are you? I remember, and this isn't fair, but Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge.
I didn't watch it.
It was great. Baz Luhrmann musical. I remember watching that thinking, I wonder if she is kind of a manipulative asshole with a heart of gold. And because I know that at the time she was married to Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think she might be the kind of person who uses people.
Dude, they met when she was 19.
Yeah, but I'm not saying... That's
19.
19. So
that's super young.
And what was he? 37?
I don't know. He's probably close to 30. That's a huge age difference.
Yeah, that's him taking advantage of her. And it's also her making choices that I wouldn't have made. But
right.
So I don't blame her taking advantage of a business opportunity, but using it in a way. She's like, well, this is one of the currencies that I have, is that I could be his beard or whatever they are.
I have heard that he is not gay.
Right.
From sources.
You got sources? You want to write down some names?
No, you wouldn't know the name.
You're so right.
But he's hard. He, as everyone knows, is hardcore into Scientology. Which is that's going to be problematic in 98% of relationships.
Yes.
But John Travolta, I have heard, is possibly gay. Of the two, I've heard that it's more
and
Travolta.
I have an unfounded, unsubstantiated theory about some of the stories I've heard about just sort of screwing around, literally screwing around, right, with men and with different women and stuff like that is that there's a certain point in fame when you are offered absolutely everything. And if there are drugs and alcohol involved, you might be like, well, I'll try it. And so I don't know, like, have you ever been, this is a dumb question because you don't have...
I'm not famous enough to have been offered
and you don't
anything.
have a substance abuse problem.
Correct.
So it's not like you have ever been so high or so drunk where...
No, even OxyContin didn't make me high.
That's such a waste. It's like you're a normal person. You're just like and I've never said that before. Congratulations.
Am I, or is everyone else normal?
No, I think when it comes to the consumption of alcohol and drugs, you're just like, this makes me sick. I don't feel good. I don't want any more of this. That's the normal...
I'd rather have food.
Right. That's the normal...
That's how that sentence ends.
Right. It's like, if I'm going to OD on something, it's going to be some chow.
Yes.
And but with drugs and alcohol, you're just like, because when I drink, I want all of the booze. I want all of it. And then when I pass out and I wake up and someone says, "Are you okay? Can I get you something?" I'm like, "Yeah, a drink. That'd be great." Wow. It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't sound like a good night to me.
No. That's because you're normal, and I have literally a physical craving for more of the thing that won't stop.
Right.
And then, yeah. So the problem is twofold. I have a physical craving that once I start drinking, I won't stop drinking until I've run out of money or I've run out of booze, or whatever. But the thing is I think when you drink like that, or when you party like that, and you're at a party, and then there are two people who are like, "Do you want to get naked and get in the shower?" You're like, "Yes." Is that what you want to do? Okay.
Is that what we're doing?
Is there going to be beer afterwards, or is there going to be booze at some point? Yes, there is. And then, so that's what I think are some of those parties where everybody's just too hammered, and you're just like, on the other side of that wall is a pile of cocaine, but you have to blow that guy to get to it. And you're like, fine.
Right.
Weird. Okay. Yeah. And then, so that I don't know that because remember that line in Shawshank Redemption where he says, "What's his face? Would it help if I explained that I wasn't a homosexual?" and the other guy says, and Red goes, "Those guys aren't homosexuals. I think to be a homosexual you have to be human, and those guys are not human. They are monsters." And so,
yeah,
because homosexuality is just love in a different way, right? So, yeah, it's all very.
Did you know, though?
We got time. I went off. Sorry.
Yes. Not Tony Soprano. James Gandolfini's son is going to play a young Tony Soprano. It's an HBO thing, right?
Oh, yeah, I heard about
that. I'm like, this character's haunting this family.
Right.
I find it worrisome.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be fine.
Oh, by the way, I woke up the other night with a sitcom idea for ourselves.
Oh, yeah?
That is ridiculous and made, like, literally... Okay, so where are we at?
We are at 27.
Okay, so we should probably do it coming the week after this. It is, I went on that Joko cruise.
Yeah.
The nerd cruise with Jonathan Colton and his friends. I was thinking... Our sitcom...
Is Joko from Jonathan Colton?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so would be a Jackie and Laurie, the JLS cruise, except that it would go awry.
Wait a minute.
Gilligan's Island. Woo! 3-hour tour. It would crash. We would end up on an island with like 22 fans, and we would insist on doing stand-up every night.
This sounds like a drama. It is not a comedy. What if we landed on Epstein's Island?
Well, no. All we have is enough recording equipment, and we do shows every night, so that when they find our bones, there'll be hundreds and hundreds of years of Jackie and Laurie podcasts.
Oh my God! And it's like what you wish happened with Amelia Earhart,
right? And we'll do it because we've been told Netflix is looking for content. But then when they find all the tapes, they're like, "Oh, it's two middle-aged women." No, never mind.
Oh, we're 54.
Oh, we are. Yeah, we are.
For some reason, I like the odd numbers better. Right?
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I don't have an
Does that
opinion.
number bother you at all, or you just don't care?
I don't care anymore. I can't. I
I
mean, I'm
know.
just like, what can I do?
I know.
It's sort of like I was doing this.
It's almost like, well, what do other people think 54 is?
Well,
You know?
I'll tell you what other people think. They think it's really fucking old because I said I was 54 on stage weeks ago in Kansas City before I was 54 because I was
gotta
just like,
practice
whatever,
it.
round
Yeah.
up. And this kid came up to me afterwards and he was like, I thought you were like 32. And I couldn't tell if he was blowing smoke up my ass or he couldn't tell. And I think
They
he just
can't
can't tell.
tell.
Right, because I can tell you how old a child is.
Yeah.
I can guess babies and toddlers and it's like 7 to 11, and then once they hit around 12, like your kid, he's too tall.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Amy Anderson's kid's too tall.
Yeah.
I can't tell how old they are at that point.
I think when you're 45, you get better at figuring out a 50-year-old from a 30-year-old. But before then, everyone looks about 35 for 20 years.
Right, for about 20 years.
Yeah.
It's weird. Let's do the comic of the week.
Okay.
Maria Heinegg.
Yay.
Heinegg just worked. We both did guest sets on the Joe Zimmerman week at Acme on the Tuesday that I was
Yes.
there.
And she's been on our list, so it was nice that you saw her before.
Exactly, and I was like, let's do it. And it's at Maria Heinegg, correct? It's
H-E-I-N egg.
Egg, E-G-G. She is very funny. Had a great set at Acme.
Does she live in New York?
She lives in New York.
Is she from New York?
No, she is not, and I can't remember where she's from, even though we just talked about it.
Okay.
So good luck, Maria. But it's kind of cool that she's in New York because I think she really likes it, and there's a lot of stage time.
Oh my God. Such a great place to move to. If you
Yeah.
can find a place that's affordable. Where's she living? Do you know?
No, probably
Everyone's living in
Queens.
Queens.
Everyone's living in Queens.
Yeah.
And we should go back to QED to do another Jackie and Laurie.
That was fun.
That was fun. Mm-hmm. Maybe we could do the Bell House. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have that guy emailed me about doing Portland, like a 1 or 2 p.m. in the afternoon one.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, are we doing this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I thought we were doing this.
We are doing that?
Yeah, we were doing this."
Okay.
And then he. Wait, you didn't know we were doing this? I thought we all agreed
You know
that we were
what?
doing this.
Jackie, I've been in a fog.
It turns out you just had surgery.
I had a time bomb inside me.
It's that weekend after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We're definitely doing Eugene and
Salem.
not Salem,
Medford, Eugene, Bend.
Bend. Yeah, we're doing Bend and
Did you hear? Okay.
but and hopefully the Sunday afternoon in Portland.
Yeah. There's a comic, a male comic, talked about Trump's Space Force on stage, on doing a one-nighter in the Dalles. Do you know where that is?
Wisconsin Dells?
No. It looks like Dallas. It's
Oh.
in Oregon. It's
Okay.
like in the, here's the thing.
Oh,
like
you get out
once
of-
you get out of Portland, it is fucking right-wing, Klan, white, backwards. I used to do triple runs up and down the 5. Grants Pass. I was like, this place, this is some real dark inbred shit where these people don't move from these towns. They get hooked on drugs really very young ages, and they stay and they have
Just
kids
loggers.
by accident, and those kids get it's just like fucking awful. Anyway, we'll be playing two
so
of
this
them,
guy did.
but no, but he did a joke about Trump's Space Force, and I don't know if it happened off stage or on stage, but another guy punched him in the face, and he was unconscious, and he woke up in the hospital.
Oh, just some audience member beat
Yeah.
him up
Yeah.
and knocked him out. Put him on the.
Yes.
Yeah, it's here's the thing: if you're going to do those jokes, you have to be self-aware. We were talking about this last episode, and that I'm not afraid, but I am aware that whenever I say anything, like I will often refer to Donald Trump as President Rapist Knob Job, and just for fun, and I've never had anyone give me any guff about it. I've had some people fold some arms, I've had some harumphs, but I haven't had, because in my opinion, people who come to stand-up comedy clubs, even if they disagree, they're there to see the show. And they're like, well, we didn't do any research. We didn't know. And they don't. Nobody does do any research.
I do find if you specifically say Trump or a specific thing about him, you're going to get a lot more anger than if you are vaguely progressive and vaguely liberal about issues instead, you know?
Well, yeah, and for 25 years, I've always, all of my stuff has been vaguely socio-political, right? Never overtly so.
Right.
And I don't ever say his name on stage, which maybe takes some of the teeth out of it, but I think that the point is there.
Yeah, and there's so many bad men right now that there's plenty of that people can project on their own asshole. Like some people, if you're talking about a bad dude, they're going to go to Bill Clinton in their heads.
Right. Or Bill Cosby.
Or somebody
Epstein
else named
or
Bill.
Weinstein
or whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many potential people. But if you do say Trump, you might split the audience a bit. And then, I don't know, is that what you want to do? Some people want to do that. I don't.
Right. I don't.
I'm not working rooms where people only agree with me. You know, I'm just showing up at clubs,
right,
and hoping. You're
going to Tahoe.
Yeah, I'm going to Tahoe. I'm not going to do Trump stuff at Tahoe. I'm sure there's a lot. I mean, Nevada's pretty red still. You know.
Right, but I don't think. I mean, do you have a lot of Trump stuff?
No, I don't have anything. But I wouldn't even go down Riff Alley with Trump stuff. Whereas maybe in a room here or in San Francisco or something, sure, or in New York, but not in a road room we're on the state line with Nevada. No way.
Yeah, I haven't. I've done some pretty. I've done some riffing where it was very specific and very where I just call him Captain Knobjob and I go off a little bit on him, and nobody's giving me any guff about it. You know, I had one guy in Pennsylvania. I told the story about pushing the old guy, and I had an old guy, come up to me afterwards and say, "You could have broke his hip. You could have killed him, and then you would have been in for manslaughter." And I was like, "Yes, I know. I was not the hero of that story. He was a horrible person, but there was no reason for me to push an old man."
Jackie, you got to let that one go. I'm on your side on that one. He sounds like he deserved it.
Sure, but what I'd like to do is not. I would like my actions and my thinking to not drive me into violence. But
there's an animation school out here.
Oh yeah,
in Burbank, and so I was just looking into it for my kid.
Yeah,
and they usually just take adults and sometimes teenagers, but they looked at some of his stuff, and so he went to. I brought my kid to meet the owner, and. He can't look adults in the eye. He's just so self-conscious right now. Yes. Yeah. And the guy liked his stuff and said he could take classes. And so my kid betrays no emotion. He's very, very, very laid back. Yeah. I wouldn't even say stoic. I just say chill, and just it processes it all internally. And then we get out to the hallway, and he's like, "This is the happiest I've ever been."
Oh, that's awesome.
But you wouldn't be able to tell from looking at him. But I could tell because he was blushing. He was like bright red, but he was really excited.
So when does it start?
When the school season starts, he'll take a drawing class there once a week or something.
And will it be physical drawing or on the computer?
Physical, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So art classes.
Yeah.
And will
blue
it
pencils.
lead to computer?
Maybe.
Graphics?
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully. It's because the thing is Andy teaches over at NIFA and that New York Film Academy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he teaches level design and game design and all these things. And but he had some kid who was just, the guy was like 19 or 20, young man, who had been taking classes and was an amazing artist, renderer, programmer, and could not do puzzles and level design. That's why he was taking the class.
Okay.
Because you go into class not knowing how to do things. That's why you take a class.
Yeah.
So that you can learn things. And so, but the kid was so frustrated. The young man was so frustrated because he was like, I don't know how to make these levels. And then as he learned, because even the crummy levels he made at the beginning of the class looked beautiful. But they were not fun to play because they were just too easy or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, but by the end of the semester, his stuff was beautiful and interesting. And so Andy was, whenever Andy comes home and he talks about like meeting some young person, somebody that he's teaching, and he's psyched.
That's
and
cool.
I just said the word young person. Somebody kill me. But so
you're gonna die soon enough, old person. Yeah, that's cool.
Watching people learn is cool. Is what it was.
Right.
And so this is going to be really neat. What?
Oh, is it Earl? Is he gray? Is he dark gray? Oh, that's his name is Earl Gray. He's the neighborhood cat.
Hey, meow face.
He's very nice.
Yeah, just checking. He meowed. All right, and doing a lap. Yes,
Hey,
that
buddy.
is a cat.
I'll pet you. Come on over here.
You wanna?
Hey, Earl. Come
Earl
say
would like
hi.
to play through.
Come on over.
Earl's like, if
Come
I
on,
could,
bud.
He's checking out the sitch. It's a real clock eater, this cat business. What are we calling this one? The cat visitation rights, or anyway? I would like to do a lot of stand up this week, and I'm going to do some. Tacoma will be super fun.
Yeah.
That's just one night in a theater
Where?
in Tacoma,
Oh, neat.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
and then one night down Santa Cruz.
Oh, are you doing DNA's place?
Yep, doing DNA's place.
That'll be so fun.
And then 2 weeks later, I'm back at DNA just opening for Caitlin Gill.
I wonder if he got his liquor license.
I don't know.
He was about to, that's a game changer when you're trying to get income,
Trying to
from a
make some
comedy
money,
club.
yeah. But I know that my August is so full. Like I'm doing 2 weekends with Caitlin, Gill, because her new album came out.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm going up with her and Chris Fairbanks one weekend to do the Bay Area, and then I'm flying out to do one show with her in Seattle.
Oh, neat. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then I'm going to St. Louis Helium with Maria.
I'm at Roosters at the end of August.
Are
over
you?
the Labor Day weekend?
Super fun.
Yes.
That'll be great.
Yeah, and then aside from Tahoe and then
Do you know who you're working with at Roosters?
No, I don't.
Do you have any local comics you want to work with?
Probably,
up there?
but she tends to kind of book. She's kind of particular about that stuff.
Okay. So I haven't asked her just because I think that was the first time I was back in a couple of years, and I want to rock the boat. But and the people she picked were funny. It was fun.
She I think she has like a kind of a farm system there with hosting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whoever she picks, they're always locals because there's no money.
But Larry
anymore.
Bubbles showed up the last time I did it.
Bubbles Brown.
Yep.
We had a date when I was like 19 or 20 years old.
Yeah?
Yeah. It went nowhere. He was just making me laugh. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, no. But you're a comic, no way.
Yeah. It's a lot. What are you complaining about, Earl? What are you looking for?
This guy.
Is he fixed? I say hopefully.
Is he? Did he just? No. Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I think so. Should I put him
Who
out?
named him Earl Grey?
His owners.
Okay.
It's weird how they let him out because there's coyotes all over the place here. If you belong to next door in Burbank, every other post is coyote sighting. People are tracking the coyotes and missing small animals. You can't let your.
He's a tall cat. That's a tall cat. That cat could take a coyote on, I think. Earl, you got this one. You got this. And so we went jet skiing.
Yeah.
I've never been jet skiing.
How was that?
I don't like jet skiing.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to like everything. That's what I learned there.
It's true. You tried it though.
We rented it for an hour.
Did you wear a swimsuit or like a wetsuit or something?
No, I have a swimsuit and then a life jacket.
Okay.
And so we rented it for an hour. We used it for a half hour.
Do you have to take lessons, or are you just allowed on a jet ski?
It's essentially a go-kart on the water.
Okay.
I would rather be on a sailboat or on a pontoon boat or on anything that I don't have to. It felt like work after 15 minutes.
Right.
And plus, it wasn't they would only let you to stay inside of the marina, so you couldn't really, like if we had been able to sort of go along the coastline and sort of, it was Lake Isabella up the coast.
Yeah.
And not up the coast, up into the Central Valley kind of thing. But if we had been able to sort of explore, but we had to stay inside of the marina with it because it was there. And I kept thinking I was going to dump it over, and And it's just a lawnmower engine inside a water motorcycle, right? It's not
A lawnmower engine inside a water motorcycle?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a go-kart, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's a go-kart
guess.
on the water.
I've never done it before.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was only 15 minutes of fun.
So this was like a weekend with Andy?
Yeah, for my birthday, which is good because I was going to go to Milwaukee, and since I believe no one from my family called. My sister called today, but she called today to tell me that she didn't call yesterday because she didn't want to interrupt the day. But her and her kids called, and they sang, so that was nice. But
I
nobody
can go
else.
with birthdays being unacknowledged.
What was birthday sitch when you were a kid?
I used to have a slumber party. I had a joint slumber party with the girl who lived behind me. Her birthday was July 17th, so we would have a joint party where we started on my birthday and ended on hers.
Nice.
So we did that a couple years, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm not good at holidays and parties and birthdays and all that. I've never, as an adult, had a birthday party, and
we could have a joint birthday party next year.
I know. Oh my God, we should have a slumber party.
All right. Can we do it at a hotel where we all have our own hotel rooms? Huge fan of everyone having their own hotel room.
Fun.
And, yeah, we can. Well, we'll be 55 next year.
Oh my God.
That's a year to like that. It's an odd number.
I don't like it.
No, why would you? It's a weird number.
Dude.
I think we'll start getting the discounts though, right?
I don't want the discounts.
No, I know.
But I guess I've always had the feeling like I'm still on the upswing, like I'm still an up and comer. Like that's how I feel inside.
Yeah.
But I don't think the industry remotely thinks of me that way. I think they're like, you're still here.
Yeah, but I don't think the industry has ever thought of me like that. It was like, oh, thank God she's here. The industry is always like, I'll watch that. That might be funny. That's how I've felt of the reception that I've received from the industry, which is fine. Quite honestly, if I can work until I die, Bob Uecker? Have you ever heard of Bob Uecker?
Yes.
Okay, so he's the voice of the Brewers.
Right.
He is, I believe, 86 years old.
Wow.
And
is he still good at announcing?
Yeah, he's still good at it. And he mostly just does the home games now.
Yeah.
But that's and he does some close games, like he'll go to Chicago and stuff. But he does 100. He's going to do 100 games this year.
Wow!
And last year, when the Brewers, I guess I just read this that the team gave him a percentage point of their playoff money.
Oh my God!
$123,000.
Oh my God!
And no announcer has ever gotten anything from the team. So
yeah,
and he didn't keep it, right? He gave it to the Make-A-Wish Foundation or something because he loves
making wishes come true.
Yeah. He loves all that, and plus he's 86 years old. But
I feel like I've taken this, this time of my life. I'm raising a kid to adulthood.
Yep,
and so that's taken me out of a lot of contention, a lot of things for,
that just makes me think that I should be doing something. What should I be doing? Like, I don't have a kid. What should I be doing?
I don't know. I want to talk about me for a second. Then we'll get to you. We have time.
What would you like to be doing? I'm going to take notes and do it because I don't have a kid. Go.
Okay. No, I'm not doing your life.
No,
what I'm saying is I in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing a ton of road work. I'm not pushing for a lot of things that I maybe should be pushing for because I can't execute them. Right? What are you giggling at?
What would you push for?
Like, I want a Netflix special.
Okay.
I don't know how to get that. They're probably going to say no. And so, if I would have to shoot my own, and it's like, I've already done that before and it's expensive and it's exhausting and I don't think I want to do it again that way. But you know what? Because I have a kid and a job, there's no room to even think or plan it. Right. And so I'm like, I'm just putting stuff on hold for,
6 more years.
6 more years, but a total of 18 years.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still doing stand-up a lot and still doing late night sets and still doing stuff, it's still an on hold situation for 18 years where I'm sort of, working on a side road. I'm not on the main road.
It can't be your priority because you have to raise another person.
Right. And I have to work. Right. And part of working helps me raise him. Right. It's health insurance. It's a steady income, all that kind of stuff. But part of me is like, but when, he's gone, I'm free and I can do stuff I've been sitting on, but I wonder if the industry will just not give a fuck and will be like, we don't care that you're free. We don't care that you're ready. We don't care that you're able to do this shit right now because you're not 35.
I don't think that's real, but I mean, you can, because I think that it's not that I don't think that ageism is real and that people wouldn't think something like that. I think that, and this might just be, and I'm also, I guess, not saying that it's a merit-based system because it certainly is not. Mm-hmm. But I think that when you are in 8 years, when we are 62 years old,
oh my God,
right,
Jackie,
I know,
I can't bear it.
You could be 62 and super funny.
I know, we're going to have to be,
right. You'll have to be.
We don't have a choice.
Well, I mean, hopefully you're planning for retirement, right? Or you got a 401k?
Yeah, I'm planning for retirement. Yeah. Yes, so but I mean, in terms of like artistically, I don't want to be going up half-assed.
No.
So yeah,
please. That's what I love about your stand-up is that you don't want it to be half-assed. You don't want to be a dinosaur. You want it to change with how comedy changes.
But I also feel like we're accidentally, maybe we didn't plan this, you and I, but we're doing stand-up about our entire lives as we're living them. Starting from age 22 to whenever it ends. We're going to have lived an entire life just kind of observing and articulating our own lives on stage as jokes. Yeah. Isn't that odd?
No, I think it's glorious. I genuinely do. Because when I was 19, the jokes that I was doing, I remember doing a joke about, did I write that in 84 or 85? I don't know. I think I did. It was about taking a class in junior high, into high school called biking and bowling. And it was a PE class. And I took, it was the year that I was wearing my sister's old PE uniform because it was a hand-me-down. Mm-hmm. But she is 4 inches shorter than I am, and I grew 4 inches, and so the seam split. Uh-huh. So all of PE that I had to take had to be things that did not require the uniform. So I took like 3 swimming things, square dancing, and biking and bowling.
Square dancing.
And archery and golf. Oh. Anyway, but the biking and bowling was interesting because I remember being 15 years old and thinking, is it going to be like polo? Where you'd get on your bike and bowl outside somehow. Yeah. It was not. It was bike to the bowling alley, bowl, bike back to school. And bikes were not included. And then I wrote a joke about my shitty bike. And so that was a joke that I wrote about being 14 or 15 when I was 19.
Oh, my God.
And then now I'm 54, and that's still a funny joke. There's still something there. I could have put that on an album. Never did.
That reminds me, I had a bike joke. This very early in my career, right? I said, I was riding. I lost my virginity. It's all lies, right? I'm riding a bike and I fell and I hit the bar right there. And I would, point to my vagina. Hit the bar right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I was deflowered by a Schwinn. And it got a laugh.
It got a laugh.
In 1989.
Right, exactly. There's hymen jokes that need to be written when you're 19 and 20.
Yeah, but that 22. Doesn't even make sense. Like, that's not how the bar goes. It doesn't go in your vagina. It goes horizontally. It doesn't. Logically, no one pointed it out to me. No audience member afterwards was like, that doesn't work. That what you're saying.
I'm also going to admit something to you. I never thought it was biking and bowling as polo. I made that up.
Yes.
And but actually that biking and bowling joke might be on an album. God knows. But I love the idea that we're sort of. It's sort of let's speak of, may he rest in peace, Bill Cosby. Right. The way he articulated his life that he was willing to show us,
right?
Not him being a monster, but the rest of it was essentially what we do as well. Mm-hmm. It's more storytelling, it's more anecdotal, and it lasts. It's the kind of stuff that lasts, and
that
it can
material?
change. Yeah, that material.
Yeah, right.
And that material is easier to write as you get, like it's as you live your life, you can expand the things that you write about. Because I am more judgmental. I have opinions, and I can have opinions about anything.
Right. But isn't it just like when we went into stand up, it was like, this is all I can do, right? I can't do anything else. I hope I get famous. And now when you look back, when we have a little bit of perspective to look back, like every part of my life I've written a joke about and done it on stage.
That's fascinating.
And you could watch videos like from 87 to now and just see a story of a whole person's life told in jokes.
Right.
And we're all like that. You, me, all of us that have started young and stayed in it. We all have our entire personal histories with a brick wall behind us. It's kind of weird and interesting.
It is weird. That reminds me, that's what Martin Short and Seinfeld were talking about comedians in cars.
Oh, really?
Because I forget, I think Martin Short asked, if I'm right, it's Martin Short, asked Jerry Seinfeld, he said, so when you first started doing stand-up, did you want to be rich or famous? And Seinfeld said, they go together. They don't. They don't go together. Sometimes you can just be rich. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
And not have the fame.
Right.
And quite honestly, I never wanted the fame. I wanted all of the work. All of it. And all of the money.
Oh, I wanted rich. I mean, I wanted famous.
You wanted famous? Mm-hmm. I never wanted the fame because I was like, what am I going to do with it? It didn't translate
Be on
into
the
money
cover
for
of
me.
Good Housekeeping magazine. Doy.
Exactly. What am I thinking? It's start my own chain of tablecloths. Anyway, but yeah, it was an interesting idea that Seinfeld thought that fame and money went together because they can, and they often do, right? But if you look at like Kato Kalin, I think that guy's broke now.
How
And
would he
he's
make
famous.
an income?
I think he was doing stand-up for a while.
There's no income in stand-up.
Haha. There is if you're Seinfeld.
Right.
We're at 55?
What?
Let's do a Max Fun shout-out.
Hi, I'm Biz.
And I'm Teresa.
And we host One Bad Mother, a comedy podcast about parenting.
Whether you are a parent or just know kids exist in the world, join us each week as we honestly share what it's like to be a parent. I don't know how to fix mornings for myself. I do not know how to make mornings okay for myself.
So the t-shirt, I don't do mornings,
Yes.
isn't even a funny shirt. I shouldn't
No.
get it for you.
It's sad.
It's a sad shirt.
Yeah, it's a sad shirt with tears flowing.
So join us each week as we judge less, laugh more, and remind you that you are doing a great job.
Find us on MaximumFun.org, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And we did it. What, so all of August you're working.
No, I'm traveling.
Oh, that's right, because you're
Yes.
vacationing.
So this week I'll be
The
out
29th.
of the country and hopefully seeing some cool stuff with my kid. You know, it's
Right.
weird. I read this. I didn't even finish the article. So depressing about climate change from the New Yorker from 2017.
Sure.
About how really awful it's going to be so quickly.
Yeah.
Like maybe not within your and my lifetimes, but definitely my kid's lifetime. Right.
For the next 100 years.
Yeah, and I feel like I just want to take him places so that he can tell his children, I visited Amsterdam. Oh, it's underwater now.
Right.
But I visited
Soylent
there.
Green.
I saw this thing. You know,
Sure.
like I want him to see a glacier. I want to take him to Iceland. I want to take him to Alaska before this shit's gone. Very selfish because, you know, getting on a plane uses, you know,
Right.
causes carbon, but fuck, you know, I feel this frantic need to like get it all in before it disappears.
Right. You never know. Let's not end on that. Or we could. It's very weird. But I think, yeah, we're not going anywhere till we're going to France. Coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going coach on Delta.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going coach.
You got to exit, Rose? He's too little. He's too young.
No, I didn't get exit. You have to pay for exit.
And he has to be 15.
Okay.
So, do you go? I tried so hard to get points for my delayed flight that landed me at Acme for overnight.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's weather. We can't give you any extra points. And I said, well, you got to ask. And I left. But everyone was so nice at Delta. There was absolutely nothing.
Of course they're nice to you. You're a diamond.
But I'm diamond.
Please.
I absolutely have never said it. But Scott Marvel Cassidy, Maria's husband, heard a guy say it when he got moved. He must not have. And he said, but I'm diamond. and so that
What's the point of being diamond if you can't point it out every once in a while on
every
a Delta
once in a
plane?
while. Exactly. Right now, I think I'm silver. I haven't.
Is that higher than diamond?
No, that's less.
Oh.
But for next year, for 2020.
Okay.
And we're already in the 7th month. So
wow.
Chop on the flying. We are going to France. I think that will. I haven't yet worked out the sets yet, but I did get a list of
venues
in foreign venues.
That's really cool.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe you could.
I might try to do something in Amsterdam. Someone tweeted at me that they're having a comedy festival. I'd love to, even if I could just do 10 minutes someplace.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, of course.
I don't care when it is.
How long's the trip?
It's 12 days total.
That's neat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Amsterdam. See a tulip. Are you guys going to go to the saddest attic in the world, or?
We are. I got tickets 2 months ago.
Awesome.
Who knows, that bit could get bigger. I thought that bit was done, but maybe it's not done.
It's not
maybe
done.
There's more.
Augie Smith, by the way, calls it the saddest attic in the world, just so we give credit where credit is due.
Sure. Of course.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.